basketball on 541radio.com.
Ball poked away by Lake. He gets it out in front for Colin Warmouth in the dunk.
Welcome to this broadcast of Roseburg Sports, presented by CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score. Now, let's get ready for the game. Here's your pregame show host, Joey Kiran.
Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to Heater Newman Memorial Gymnasium on the campus of Grants Pass High School in Grants Pass, Oregon. It is time for high school hoops tonight here on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score and online at 541radio.com. Tonight, your number 19 Roseburg Indians take on the number 44 Grants Pass Cavemen in a Southwest Conference showdown. A couple of teams trying to make sure they are still in the conversation for a conference title as the second half of the conference season is just about a week away. Roseburg comes in trying to bounce back after a tough loss at South Medford on Friday night. Meanwhile, the Grants Pass Cavemen also trying to bounce back after their worst loss of the season on the road in Eugene at Sheldon High School last Friday. It should be an interesting one here tonight as both these teams look to establish some momentum mid-season in the Southwest Conference. And we welcome you into tonight's broadcast. Beautiful night here inside Heater Newman Memorial Gymnasium. Outside, it's been a foggy one down here in the Rogue Valley, and our drive down here, plenty of fog to drive through. But we are inside, and we are getting ready here at this beautiful gymnasium for some Cavemen and Indians basketball here tonight. Joey Kiran with you. Happy to be with you on this Tuesday evening as Roseburg takes on Grants Pass. As we mentioned, two teams trying to get a little bit established in Southwest Conference play. Roseburg was out to a great 2-0 start, but they unfortunately dropped a tough one on the road at South Medford on Friday night. On paper, it looked like a game that Roseburg should be able to win rather easily at South Medford, a team that had won just one game all season and hadn't won a game in Southwest Conference play. But after stepping out to an 8-point lead in the first quarter, the Roseburg boys were pretty much manhandled by South Medford as they pulled away for a 60-46 victory Friday night. Their first win in conference play, just their second win on the season overall. As for Grants Pass, well, they are coming in 1-2 in conference play, and they are coming off of a 26-point loss against Sheldon. They fell behind 25-7 in the first quarter and never could make up the difference against the Irish. Tough one there for Grants Pass. For Sheldon, it was their first conference win. The Southwest Conference very jumbled at the bottom of the standings right now, and there's not a lot of separation between all the teams in the conference here in the early going of conference play. But with a smaller conference this year, there's only one more game left on the schedule for Roseburg as they make their way through the conference slate for the first time. They've got Grants Pass tonight and North Medford Friday, and that is your first time through against your conference opponents. So there's no time like the present to start establishing yourself as a possible playoff team and maybe a conference champion hopeful. Tonight, Roseburg and Grants Pass will look to try and get that run going. We'll see how things work out for the Cavemen and the Indians. We make our way through tonight's pregame show as we get you ready for tip-off coming up in just a little more than 15 minutes. We'll have a chance to catch up with head coach Mike Parton here in the pregame show, talk about the loss against South Medford and what kind of lesson did this team learn after losing for the first time in conference play. We'll also have your Supercut starting lineups coming just before tip-off as we get ready to go between the Indians and the Cavemen. For all of you sports fans, want to remind you tonight's game is streaming live online at 541radio.com. And on the 1490 The Score YouTube channel, you can catch the game there. Follow the action streaming live and for free. We do apologize for the inconvenience for all of our fans that love to watch the game streaming live online. Last Friday night at South Medford, a technical issue. We were unable to bring you that game on the video stream. We apologize for that and are happy to have that back up and running for you here tonight. So go ahead and check us out online, 541radio.com on the 1490 The Score homepage, or give us a subscribe on the 1490 The Score YouTube page. We'll go ahead and take a quick break here in the pregame show, and when we come back, we catch up with head coach Mike Parton. This is Roseburg basketball from Grants Pass tonight on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Back here with more of our pregame on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score and streaming with video online at 541radio.com. It's time now for us to catch up with head coach Mike Parton here in the pregame show. And Coach, coming off of a tough one there, first road game in conference play down there at South Medford. I know you look at the schedule and that's one you feel like maybe you walk away and it was one that you wish you could have had. And I'm sure you can say that about a lot of games in conference play. But looking back on that, what's the biggest lesson to learn from that game and a tough one on the road for you guys?
Well, we got to be able to make adjustments, and then we got to play hard. I don't think we played hard as we need to. And any team in our league can beat us on a given night. It doesn't matter who you are or what your record is. We got to come prepared to play, and I don't think we came prepared to play. And South Medford took advantage of that and beat us. And so hopefully it's a good lesson for us, and then we're going to come out and get better.
You guys have another game again tonight against a Grants Pass team that maybe on paper doesn't necessarily have the best record, but it's another game where it's the same kind of situation that you saw against South. Anybody on any night can beat you. What kind of things do you tell the guys going into it to just kind of continue to hammer that message home that I'm sure you've done in practice the last couple of days and done in meetings with these guys?
Yeah, I think the big thing for us is, I'm going to tell you, Grants Pass is probably the most talented 5-12 team. I mean, they've lost some really, really tight ball games against really good competition, and so they've lost a lot of close games this year. Their point guard, I think, is the best point guard in the league. He's a phenomenal player. He's the second leading scorer in the league, and then they got some other players that are scoring well for them too. So we really have our work cut out for us. They shoot the three extremely well, and when they get it going, it makes it tough on you.
I know going on the road is always tough, especially here in conference. Everybody's very familiar with each other, but this gym, I know it's a little bit of a different setup. Do you ever find that kind of, I know sometimes shooters will talk about the background, behind the gym, behind the backboard and stuff like that. With this being a little bit of a different setting that you don't get to see a whole lot, is this something that kind of comes into play when you guys come to a place like this?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I've had teams shoot really well here, and I've had teams shoot really poorly here. So I don't know.
Yeah.
The bottom line is we got to come prepared to play, and when we get open shots, we got to take them, we got to make them, and those are things you got to do no matter where you play. And this is a good home court for Grants Pass, always has been. And so we're hoping to come out and play 4 quarters, and that's the key for us.
Yeah. You mentioned keys, and I was going to ask about that. What else do you feel would be a key to tonight's game for Roseburg to come away with a victory and move to 3-1 in conference play?
Well, I think the key for us is teams are going to, this is league, and they're gonna make adjustments to try to take things away, and then we have to make adjustments, and being able to do that in the game is a big deal. And so I think that's going to be key factor for us, how we make adjustments and then how we adjust.
All right, there we go. Well, that is head coach Mike Parton here in the pregame as we get ready for tip-off between Roseburg and Grants Pass. We'll have more coming up for you as we wrap up the pregame show on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Tuesday night on the road in Southwest Conference play. Tonight, the Roseburg and Grants Pass boys basketball teams squaring off. Southwest Conference showdown. First meeting between these two teams in the 2018-19 season. Joey Keyran here with you. Big thanks to Brenton Cranford back in the studio for the radio production, helping out with the video production, some stat keeping and scores tonight. Josh Nelson with us here on site. Well, tonight it should be an interesting matchup between a couple of different players. You've got the leading scorer in the Southwest Conference, Colin Warmouth, who comes in averaging 27.2 points per game, squaring off with Taylor Anderson, a first-team all-conference selection last year, along with Colin Warmouth as juniors. And Taylor Anderson comes in averaging about 19 points per game, second leading scorer in the Southwest Conference. Season high for Anderson this year has been 26. Of course, for Colin Warmouth, he's hit 38 a couple of times for his season high this year. It's also a career high for the Roseburg senior. Should be interesting to watch that matchup going on tonight out there for Roseburg and Grants Pass. You heard head coach Mike Barton mention in the pregame interview there that this Grants Pass team has taken a couple of losses that have been pretty close, and I did the math. They have had 6 games out of their 17 this year that have been decided by 6 points or less. So they have had a number of close defeats, especially in non-conference play against conference opponents. We talked about it for Roseburg. They had non-conference games against teams that they will face in Southwest Conference play, and everybody had to do that. For Grants Pass, they faced South Eugene and Sheldon, a couple of top teams in the conference. At least that's what was expected, and they were very close games for Grants Pass. But then they faced Sheldon for a second time, and it did not go well in their last one. Mentioned it was a 25-7 game after the first quarter, as Sheldon jumped out to a big lead early on, and they just cruised from there. 26-point loss is the worst of the season for Grants Pass. Now, on the other side for Roseburg, they're coming off not their worst loss of the season by any means, but it was definitely a very tough one to swallow in Southwest Conference play. Roseburg losing 60-46 against South Medford. They led by 8 at the end of the first quarter, but then South Medford just chipped away at the lead. It was down to a 1-point game at halftime after Roseburg went 4 minutes and 22 seconds without a point in the second quarter. South Medford got back within 1, then they took their first lead of the game 20 seconds into the third quarter, and they took the lead midway through the third quarter and held it the rest of the game. Roseburg did get back to within 6 points at 50-44 with 2:11 left to go in the ball game, but from there on out it was South Medford all the way on a 10-2 run to finish out the game. Roseburg had started fouling to try and conserve time on the clock and see if they could find a way back into the ball game, but South Medford hit their free throws and Roseburg couldn't catch up. So for both these teams, this is a bounce-back game here tonight. How can Roseburg recover on the road in conference play? That will be the big test here this evening. And for Grants Pass getting back at home, can they get themselves back to 500 in conference play? Roseburg looking to stay above 500 and stay just behind conference leader North Medford, who is at 3-0 at the top of the conference standings. Taking a look at your Southwest Conference standings, North Medford is ranked 14th in the OSAA power rankings. They come in at 3-0, 11-6 overall this year. North Medford tonight has an off night, not in action this evening. Roseburg, number 19 in the OSAA power rankings, 2-1 in conference, 12-5 overall. South Eugene is number 10 in the power rankings, 1-2 in conference, 12-5 overall. South Eugene welcomes in Sheldon tonight. Sheldon also 1-2, ranked number 28 by the OSAA, and they are 8-10 overall this year. Grants Pass at number 44, 1-2 in conference play, part of that 14 group at 1-2 in Southwest Conference play, and they are 5-12 overall. And South Medford also off tonight. South Medford, number 47 in the power rankings, they're 1-2, 2-15 overall this year. So that is a look at the Southwest Conference as we gear up for the final week through the Southwest Conference season. And on Friday, Roseburg will host North Medford, and that'll be the final game on the first rotation through the Southwest Conference schedule. Roseburg will have a non-conference game against former Southwest Conference opponent Willamette coming up on February 5th next week, and then it'll be back into conference play as they head to Sheldon on February 8th to start the second time through the conference schedule. gearing up for tip-off coming up here in just a little bit as the Grants Pass band starts to get themselves set up along one of the baselines up on the partition that goes into the secondary gym here at Grants Pass High School. The freshman game was going on over there. They started opening up the divider. I was a little surprised by that. For those that maybe have been down here in years past, I didn't think they normally opened up that divider, but they set the band up over there. Normally the band has been in the stands to our right from where we sit here atop the stands at Heater Newman Memorial Gymnasium, but now they set them up there at the baseline. So the team that'll be moving to our left, right to left on your radio dial, they'll be shooting with the band in the background. Should be kind of interesting to see there. I'm asked the question of head coach Mike Parton in the pregame coach's interview, but I've always thought that this Grants Pass Gymnasium might be a difficult spot for a visiting team to come. Now, of course, Roseburg has a decent senior class that is experienced playing here at Heater Newman, but it can be maybe a bit of an adjustment, I would suspect. I've heard of basketball players talking about when you get to different gyms, when the background is a little bit different, it can kind of make it tough for a visiting team to figure out kind of what your focal point is and be able to handle all the stuff going on in the background. And that is a reason for concern, I'm sure, but obviously not much you can do about it. Just got to come out, get yourself accustomed to the setting and do the best you can with what you've got. So we'll see how that affects Roseburg here tonight as they take on the Grants Pass Cavemen. Folks, want to let you know about some other stuff going on here on 1490 The Score as we have a little bit of time as we wrap up the pregame show. Coming up tomorrow night, 1490 The Score will be out at UCC to celebrate Pack the Gym Night, and we welcome you to come out there and join us out at Umpqua Community College for what should be a great night of some basketball games. The Umpqua men and women will be hosting the Lane Titans in a battle for first place in the South Region in the Northwest Athletic Conference. Right now, Lane is coming in first place in the men's standings and in the women's standings. UCC is tied with Lane in the women's standings, while Lane, that is the opposite of what it is. It's the men are tied with Lane in the for first place in the standings, and the women trail Lane by a one-game margin in the women's standings. So it's going to be a big night tomorrow night for UCC basketball. It's Pack the Gym Night. Come on out, help celebrate the UCC Riverhawks. It'll be $5 admission for adults, $3 for seniors. Children 12 and under get in for free. UCC students and staff get in free as well. Should be a fun night. There'll be prizes and giveaways going on a first-come basis. 1490 The Score will be out there broadcasting from 4 to 6. Come by, say hi. We'll have some giveaways as well. We'll be talking with players and coaches while we're there, getting you ready for the game, and we hope to see all of you out there to support the UCC Riverhawks tomorrow for Pack the Gym Night and make it a great entertainment night for the UCC Riverhawks as they take on the Lane Titans and what will be a very big game in the NWAC tomorrow. So that'll get started. Doors open at 4:30. We'll be out there broadcasting from 4 to 6. We hope to see you out at UCC tomorrow night for Pack the Gym Night. Oh, and I didn't mention they'll be unveiling the brand new UCC Riverhawks mascot tomorrow night there at Umpqua Community College. All right, folks, that does it for the pregame show. We'll come back with your starting lineups as we get ready for tip-off. This is Roseburg basketball, streaming online at 541radio.com and on the radio on Douglas County's home for sports, CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
Sports fans, thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty To follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage. Stay tuned for more for basketball on 541radio.com.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
It's almost time for tip-off here from Grants Pass High School. Joey Kieran here with you. Roseburg visiting the Cavemen tonight. Let's take a look at your Supercut starting lineups in the Steelhead Run Plaza across from Starbucks on Garden Valley Boulevard. Save time and check out styles online at supercuts.com. For Roseburg, your starting 5, it'll be 1 junior and 4 seniors. Jet Black, the junior guard, averaging 5.8 points per game, starts tonight. Caden Seeley, the senior guard, averaging 4.8 per game. Starts along with senior guard Colin Warmouth, averaging 27.2 points per game, highest in the Southwest Conference. Jonathan Stone gets his second straight start after missing 6 games with a knee injury. Comes in tonight in the post. And working down low as well will be senior forward Carson Ellis, averaging 5.4 points per game. For the home team, the Grants Pass Cavemen, led by third-year coach Tyler York. Senior guard, 5'11", Skylar Rich gets the start tonight, along with a senior guard, 6'2", Corbin Lopez. At 6'3", a junior forward, Chase Coyle starts. Tyler Anderson, first-team all-conference selection, second leading scorer in the Southwest Conference, a senior 5'10" guard starts. And Randy Clark, the 6'1" senior guard, rounding out the starting 5 for Coach Tyler York. That is a look at your Supercut starting lineups in the Steelhead Run Plaza across from Starbucks on Garden Valley Boulevard. Save time and check out styles online at supercuts.com. Roseburg in the road black, the numbers black outlined in orange, the orange trim up and down the sides of the jerseys. Home white, Caveman across the chest in blue, numbers on the front and back in blue for Grants Pass. In the center, it's Jonathan Stone winning the tip against Chase Coyle. Roseburg will move left to right on your radio dial as we get things underway here tonight from Heater Newman. Jonathan Stone coming out being aggressive, goes right to the rim, had a guy all over him, no whistle. And the other way we go for Grants Pass. And the early bucket will go to Randy Clark, who will take it right to the rim from the left side. He gets the bucket to go, and it's a 2-0 lead. Grants Pass in front early on against Roseburg. Ball to Warmouth, cutting the left side of the lane. His shot off the mark. And Roseburg 0 for 2 on their opening possessions. Up the floor, quickly left side. Jonathan Stone, a swat against Coyle. Then the ball tipped out of bounds. I believe it's staying on this end of the floor. It'll be Grants Pass basketball. So far, Roseburg trying to attack the rim, but they haven't been able to get a clean look at it. 0 for 2 from the floor for Roseburg. Just about a minute ticked away. Open look at a 3 from the far side. Off, the rebound tipped up. Warmouth comes down with it, and you've got Jonathan Stone on the floor, and that is not good. He's already missed time this year, and he's on the floor. Not sure if it's his knee again, but I kind of think it is. He had a partially dislocated knee that he suffered at Medford back on December 27th in the Abby's Holiday Classic tournament. He missed 6 games, had his first game back on Friday night at South Medford. This was just his second game, and he is having his leg looked at. It might be the other knee. He's got a brace on one knee, and they are looking at the other, his right knee. And this one might take a moment. We'll go ahead and step away for 30 seconds as we figure out how this might work out with Jonathan Stone. We hope the best for the big man. Back after this 30-second break here on 1490 The Score.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Back after the injury timeout, Jonathan Stone getting help. He is not putting any weight on his right leg as he makes his way off the floor. D'Angelo Adams will check in for him as Roseburg will have the basketball, trailing 2-0. Spin move baseline. Colin Warmoth will tie the ball game up at 2-all. Here at 6:53 to go. Jonathan Stone to the locker room. Looks like his night likely done. We'll hope the best and maybe he gets a chance to return this season. A three from the left corner is good for Taylor Anderson. Second leading scorer in the Southwest Conference, gets his first points of the night, makes it a 3-point game. Grants Pass in front, 5-2. Underneath, Colin got underneath the basket. His shot too strong, but the rebound tipped out. Now he's going to try an NBA range three. It clanks off the back of the iron, no good. And down with it is Grants Pass. Up the floor, quickly right to the rim. Randy Clark will get his second bucket of the night and out to let's make it a 5-point lead. Grants Pass up on top, 7-2. Warmoth brings it across the timeline. We'll hand it off to Seeley. To Adams on the right side. D'Angelo in for Jonathan Stone after he went down with an apparent leg injury. Ball tipped out of bounds by Anderson. Stays with Roseburg on their half of the floor. That is disappointing to see for Jonathan Stone. The big man worked his way back to get back out on the floor. Was back for one game, and that's it. Warmoth has the basketball, brings it across from the backcourt. Roseburg trailing 7-2. 5:50 to go first quarter. Dribbling left side, Ellis gets to the basket. It rolls off the left iron. Roseburg's getting opportunities underneath. They can't quite get it to go. Now a jumper baseline. Randy Clark with 6 points early on, and Roseburg's down 9-2 against Grants Pass. We'll take a break as Roseburg calls the timeout down on the floor. Quick 30-second break back after this on 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
First quarter, 5:37 to go. Roseburg basketball brought to you by Bimart. Score big at Bimart where you can get ready for your season for less. Horn going off there. Well, guess they got it all settled there. 9-2 the score. Grants Pass in front of Roseburg. Caden Seeley walking it across the timeline, right side of the floor, gets it to Adams. He'll bounce it right back as he drives to the rim, bounces it back to Seeley. Seeley with the man all over him. Adams tried to get it entered into the post. Now he'll drive through the lane, loses a handle on it. Up the floor will go. Skylar Rich with it. His lay-in falls. The senior gets his first 2 of the night. Double-digit lead now, not quite there. 9-point lead for Grants Pass on top of Roseburg. Roseburg just 2 points in the first 3 minutes. Warmoth driving baseline, spin move, floater in the lane, finally goes. That bounced around on the rim like the last popcorn seed at the bottom of the blower. Finally dropped right through. Left side, Anderson almost wanted to catch and shoot 3. Drives in, and a foul going to be called as Warmoth reaching in to try and knock the ball away from Chase Coyle. Called for the foul there. Warmoth looked at the official like, you got to be kidding me. And he picks up his first team foul against Roseburg. First foul called to the ball game. Inbound goes to Lopez. Passes it away out to the top. Rich drives left side 2. Off the back iron, and Warmoth will chase it down. Roseburg trailing by 7. 11-4. It's been Warmoth with both buckets so far. Got to get some other guys involved. Black has it out at the top. Jet will dribble it left side to Adams. Back to Warmoth. To the top of the arc to Ellis. Hands it off. Calling around Ellis. Pulls up for the 3. He's got it. Right through for Colin Warmoth. Back to a 4-point game. Colin, all 7 points to start out for Roseburg here in the first. 4:09 to play, first quarter. To the top, Clark with it. To the near side, Anderson. Working against Adams. Back out to the top for Rich. Driving left side. Hands it off. Coyle with it. Marked by Seeley. And back out to the top. And they'll back it back out towards the center circle as resetting is Taylor Anderson. To the left side. Lopez back to the top. Grants Pass patient with their offense, driving baseline, redirected back out for Rich to the top. Now to the left side, and they'll try to work the corner here. Lopez drives to the lane, jump stop in the middle, 2 hands in front of him, and able to get it to go. Corbin Lopez, the fadeaway jumper, falls through with Colin Warmoth and Carson Ellis in his face. Ball swatted away from behind by Skylar Rich. Caden Seeley cutting to the basket. It was a nice pass, but the help defense, Rich sends it out of bounds. Roseburg will retain possession. Inbound to Ellis, out to the top. Warmoth working, driving in, gets to the rim. There's a lot of bodies ended up on the floor. The ball out of bounds. No whistles. Everybody tangled up. There was 4 bodies, 2 from each side on the floor. And it must have been last touch by Roseburg, out of bounds. Warmoth with the miss. Team rebound going to Grants Pass. I believe checking into the game. Yeah. Anthony Maravilla has come into the game, a junior guard at 6'1". He has the ball in the left corner. Out to Anderson at the left wing. Moving around the perimeter. Lopez, after a screen, comes out to the top to get it. To Anderson on the left side. They'll be patient to the free throw line with it, going to the rim. Coyle passes it back out as he's cut off by the defense. Stopping at the elbow. Pass away. They set a screen, no whistle as Adams tried to fight through it. The jumper from the top by Anderson was off the mark. Adams down with the rebound. D'Angelo got lucky, I think, there to not get called for a foul fighting through a screen. Tried to go with the backdoor cutter to Warmoth. He had a defender all over him. Ellis stops on the top. Go to the corner to Adams. Pass to the Seeley at the top. He's got some space, won't shoot it from there. Underneath to Ellis. The help defense tried to come, but Carson just turns and faces the basket, throws it up, and the flat shot just right in. Back to a 4-point game, 13-9, 2:13 to play in the first quarter. Far side of the floor, Rich with it, looking underneath, the cutter not open. To Anderson, around a screen to the left elbow, pass in the corner. Maravilla driving in, baseline bounce pass. A jumper from Lopez off the mark, rebound tipped by Ellis. It goes to Warmoth. Up the floor. Look out for the defense from behind. Warmoth does. He drives in, spin moves, kicks back out. Seeley a 3, back iron no good. Rebound tipped around. Adams will come up with it. Seeley has it in his hands. His pass tipped out of bounds. Substitutions will come in with the dead ball. Xavier Avilés and Merhowie Lake check into the game. Jet Black and Carson Ellis will take a seat on the bench. Also into the game, Ethan Lackey has come in for Grants Pass. Merhowie Lake will inbound to Avilés on the right side. Out to Adams, into the corner. Warmoth catch and shoot 3, short. Grants Pass up with it. 1:35 to go first quarter. Clark baseline, back out to Maravilla. He'll drive baseline, bounce pass in the middle. Lackey, spin move, back out. Clark a 3 from the left side, good. Randy Clark has 9 points in the ball game here in the first quarter, and it's 16-9, a 7-point game once again for Grants Pass. They led by as many as 9. Seeley gets it, drives in. Lackey will cut him off. Stop at the block. Gets it back to Warmoth. He drives in the middle. No whistle. Is shot off the mark. Colin wanting a whistle, will not get it. That's kind of his trademark. Bounce pass through the middle, and it's through for Randy Clark. Great court vision by Anderson, finding Clark cutting to the basket. And it makes it a 9-point game once again, 50 seconds to go. Roseburg had it down to a 4-point game, but Grants Pass has fought back to get it back out to 9. Colin, right side. Underhand pass to Seeley on the right side wing. Out to the top. Merhowie back to Avilés. Warmoth now on the right wing, working against Maravilla. Going to try and go on the quick step. Baseline, has to whip it into the corner. Lake gets it in the middle to Avilés, and he'll pass it out. Had it stripped away from him twice. Driving in, Seeley gets to the basket, and he'll finish this time. High off the glass, it falls through for Caden Seeley. 14 seconds to go, 7-point game. In the corner, an open look at a 3 for Clark. It rims out. Avilés down with the rebound, 8 seconds. Roseburg has a chance at a last shot here. They'll bring it up the floor. Seeley, 4 seconds, around a defender, off his heel, but he'll draw a foul there with 1.6 seconds to go. He dribbled it off his heel, but had the defensive pressure all over him. They're going to try and sub somebody in. Cade Anderson will come in, the junior guard for Taylor Anderson. 1.6 seconds to go. They haven't put the foul up on the board as far as I can tell. Lake's got to get it in. He finds Seeley cutting to the basket behind the defense, and Roseburg will score before the end of the first quarter. 18-13 your score after one. Roseburg down by 5. They trailed by as many as 9 to Grants Pass. Back after this with the second quarter on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Second quarter action here brought to you by Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? Grants Pass will start with the basketball. They lead 18-13 over Roseburg. Jonathan Stone, ice on his right knee, crutches on his side. His night looks to be done after going down with an injury after making his second start returning from injury. Grants Pass with it out at the top. Cade Anderson hands it off to Taylor Anderson. Rides with the right elbow. Passes into the corner. Randy Clark, an open look at a 3. It's off the mark. Rebound on the weak side by Warmouth. They call a tie-up. And the possession arrow will go to Roseburg. But Warmouth had the possession. He had Ethan Lackey all over him reaching in. And Warmouth was called for a similar foul on something like that earlier. But doesn't get the benefit there. Second miss of the night for Randy Clark after starting out the game 5 for 5 for 11 points in that first quarter. Jet Black brings it up the floor. Some soft full court pressure being applied by Grants Pass. Warmouth with it out at the top. And Roseburg looking to cut it down. A made 3 would make it a one-possession game. Cutting left side of the basket, Aviles gets it into the corner to Lake. Driving in, he gets airborne. Ball tipped away from Aviles back to Lake. Right side, he gets around his defender in the lane. Passes, ball stolen away by Anderson. Up the floor for Grants Pass. Right side, Cade Anderson draws the foul from Colin Warmouth. It'll be his second. Second team foul against Roseburg, 1 against Grants Pass so far. Roseburg basketball on 1490 The Score is presented by Pepsi and Bigfoot Beverages and by Flyaway Travel. Contact their travel experts for your travel plans. Now located at 1445 West Harvard Avenue, or give them a call at 672-5701. Lackey and Maravilla will check out of the game. Braden Bellum will come in. And I believe Corbin Lopez came back in as well. Both free throws off the mark at the free throw line for Cade Anderson, and it stays an 18-13 game, 6:48 to go in the first half. Warmouth to the left side, gets it to Adams, right back to Warmouth. He spots up for a 3, he's got it. Now 13 points in the game for Colin Warmouth, 13 of the 16 for Roseburg. It is a 2-point game. Roseburg trailed by as many as 9. They have not led in the ball game so far. Out at the top, a 3 from Anderson. Cade Anderson short. Rebound, though, goes to Lopez. Pass back out to the top to Cade Anderson, to Taylor Anderson on the left side. Back to Cade. Into the corner for Clark. They got to make sure they keep an eye on him. Taylor Anderson, left side, beyond the perimeter. Picks up his dribble. We'll find Cade Anderson on the far side. Colin Warmouth gets his hands in the middle of the passing lane, but he can't keep it in bounds. Out one goes out on the near sideline. Warmouth tried to save it back into a teammate, but stepped on the sideline as he was doing it. Cade Anderson takes a seat. Skylar Rich back in for Grants Pass. D'Angelo Adams gets a break. Back into the game, Caden Seeley. Roseburg going with a zone look. Out to the top for Taylor Anderson. 8 feet behind the line, doesn't take that shot. He'll get it again between the circles. Far side, Randy Clark with it. dumps it over the defense. And Lopez tried the turnaround jumper, but passes it away as he's midair. On the far side, Clark with it. Grants Pass going very patient against this zone D. Taylor Anderson, he'll pull on that one, and he's got it. Taylor Anderson, his range is pretty deep. And he puts that one through to make it a 5-point game. Timeout down on the floor. Let's go ahead and take it as well. 5:33 to go in the ball game. 21-16, Grants Pass in front. You're following Roseburg basketball online at 541radio.com and on 1490 The Score.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Roseburg basketball with 5:33 to go. Tonight's game brought to you by Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. Roseburg with the basketball, trailing by 5. Seeley driving right side, gets the defense into the corner for Lake, out to Jet Black, his three, rainbow three off the mark, but Seeley with the offensive rebound. His putback, though, no good. Up the floor quickly for Grants Pass, and a recovery block by Colin Warmoth off the backboard. Seeley with it out at the top. To the left side, Jet with it. Picks up his dribble, has Lopez in his face, gets it to Avilés at the free throw line. He'll hand it off to Caden Seeley. Warmoth with it. On the right wing, working against Randy Clark, he'll dribble to the top. Or Howie Lake, bouncing it to the free throw line. Avilés working against Braden Bellum, a couple of big bodies there. Colin going to spot it for a three, his third of the night. He's got it, and Roseburg back within 2. 21-19, 4:21 to go, second quarter. Taylor Anderson brings it across the timeline. Hands it off, Skylar Rich will back it out to Lopez on the left side. Roseburg has gone back to a man-to-man defense. Crossover dribble. Anderson wanted the foul. He'll get it. Doesn't get the bucket, but he'll head to the free throw line. This will be against Caden Seeley. Third team foul against Roseburg. No. They're saying it was against Colin Warmoth? No. They'll change it to Caden Seeley. That would have been the third on Warmoth. Carson Ellis will check in after the first free throw coming up here for Taylor Anderson. Anderson with 6 points in the game on a pair of three-pointers so far. First one does go through. Roseburg basketball also brought to you by Good Vibration Solutions for home theater and automotive audio. You can feel it at Good Vibes. Randy Clark comes out of the game for Grants Pass. Maravilla comes back in for the Cavemen. Ellis checked into the game for Roseburg. Avilés takes a quick seat. Both free throws go through for Anderson. He's got 8 points in the game, 23-19, 4-point game. Grants Pass in front, midway here in the second quarter. Ball tipped out from behind by Taylor Anderson out of the hands of Carson Ellis. Out of bounds on the far sideline in front of the Grants Pass bench. Or Howie Lake will inbound it for Roseburg. They stack it up. Pass into Colin Warmoth in the front court. Working against Maravilla, gives him a shimmy shake. He'll spot up on the three. It's off. Back iron just fell right off. 3-6 from behind the arc for Colin here on the night. Rich with it out at the top. He'll back it out. 23-19, 3:33 to go in the first half. Out to the top. Anderson thought about a catch and shoot three. Now he'll pull the trigger. It's off the iron. No good. Rebound tip to Jet Black. Jet gives it to Colin, who will bring it up the floor. Roseburg trailing by 4. Looks right side, gets it to Seeley at the wing, back to Warmoth, into the corner to Lake. They want to get the give and go, and now Warmoth gets a hand in his face, knocks the ball away. On the other side, offensive foul. They call it on Skylar Rich. Caden Seeley, nice job on the defensive end, getting in front of the ball handler. Rich cutting to the basket, just plows his way through. Caden Seeley. It'll be the second foul on the Cavemen in the first half. First for Skylar Rich, and Roseburg will get it back. They trail by 4, 3 minutes to play in the first half. Collin left side. He passes to Caden Seeley, who is cutting to the basket. And a turnover again by Roseburg. So they get it back, unable to take advantage. They'll walk down to the other side of the floor. Bringing the ball up, Anderson to Lopez. Bellum has it out at the top. Clapping his hands on the far side was Rich. He doesn't get it. Anderson driving in. His double clutch shot off the mark. He wanted a foul. He won't get the call. Roseburg comes up the floor with the basketball, trying to again cut into this 2-possession game. Ellis has it. He's going to just try and take it himself. Spin move in the lane. His floater no good. Seeley fighting for the rebound. It's taken away by Rich. Lake tried to get a hand in there. Will not poke it away. Into the corner. Maravilla driving in. Jump stop. Passes it through the defense to Lopez. Wraparound lay-in will go. Corbin Lopez. 4 points for him in the game. And he stretches it back out to a 6-point margin. Still a 2-possession game as Jet Black will get it on a handoff working against Lopez to Seeley. The give and go. Jet wanted it. He was open for a moment. Didn't get the pass from Caden. They'll go to Caden on the far side. Skip pass all the way over to Jet. He'll launch a 3. Got it! Jet Black's first points of the night. His second 3 attempt is good. And Roseburg back within 3. A minute 53 to go in the first half. Roseburg trying to close things out. See if they can take their first lead of the ball game. Rich has it at the free throw line, passes it away to Lopez. Grant's pass trying to keep their edge all the way through the first half. Maravilla at the left wing, goes around his screen, working against Lake, almost lost it, back out. Anderson well behind the arc, but he'll pull the trigger from there. Doesn't take it, dribbles it away. Lopez on the left side, into the corner for Rich. He'll try a corner 3, launches it, back iron, no good. Rebound down to Merhowie Lake. He gets it to Collin, a minute 23 to go. Roseburg a chance to tie on a made 3-pointer. 25-22, 117. Marking Collin is Maravilla. 1-on-1, he tries to go. Now 2 defenders on him. He gets airborne. He gets it out to the top to Carson Ellis. They look for some movement. Ellis trying to direct the traffic. He passes far side. It's almost stolen away by Anderson. Taylor stepping on the far sideline before he can get control of the basketball, and he steps out of bounds. Maravilla and Bellum come out of the game. Chase Coyle checks back in for Grant's pass. And so did Randy Clark. 57 seconds to go in the first half. Looking for the cutter underneath, not there. Seeley drives, underhand pass to Lake. Now gets it right block. He'll pass into the corner. Jet of 3 looks long. It is, and the rebound comes down to Rich. Grant's pass will have it, trying to extend that 3-point lead. Anderson drives right side, gets it to Lopez. Things open up on the baseline. He goes right to the rim. Shot too strong. Underneath the rebound. Taken by Coyle, and he finally finds a way to get it out from underneath the basket out to Clark, and Grant's pass will get a chance to reset. 24 seconds to go in the first half. 25-22, Grant's pass in front. Roseburg trying to keep it a 1-possession game. Maybe get a steal and see if they can fight their way back here in the first half. Grant's pass is holding for the final shot, though. 10 seconds to play. Anderson hasn't initiated yet. A screen comes. He's just going to launch one from deep. It's off the mark. Seeley down with the rebound. 3 seconds, 2 seconds from half court. Caden Seeley. Oh, just off the mark. Caden Seeley's 3 gave us a hope that it might go in to tie the game at halftime. It does not. It's 25-22 as we go to the break. Roseburg battling their way back, but they never lead in the first half. Grant's pass led by as many as 9, but at the break, it's just a 3-point margin. Back after this with your more well-drilling halftime show. This has been Roseburg basketball first half action, brought to you by Mahalo Heating and Cooling, your best choice for the finest indoor comfort control. Call them today at 672-6707. We'll come back with the halftime show after this 2-minute break on 1490 The Score.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage. Stay tuned for more Roseburg basketball on 541radio.com.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Here at the halftime break, your score 25-22. The Roseburg boys trailing against Grants Pass at the halftime break, and it is time for the More Well Drilling halftime show, keeping Douglas County green since 1947. Give them a call at 541-459-4039. That is More Well Drilling, your halftime show sponsor. Roseburg fell behind by as many as 9 in the first quarter. They got it down to a 5-point game at the end of the first quarter. Got it back to a one-possession game there in the second quarter. Grants Pass stretched it back out just a little bit, but Roseburg able to close the gap down to a 3-point game here at the halftime break, 25-22. It was 18-13 after one, and Roseburg outscores Grants Pass 9-7 in the second quarter, but neither team was able to put up a lot of offense in that second quarter as they continue to make adjustments. Also in that first half, we saw Jonathan Stone gets the start, his second since returning from injury. Unfortunately for him, he's only out there for a couple of minutes before going down with a knee injury. He limped to the locker room, couldn't put any weight on his right leg, and came back out with ice on the leg and with some crutches. And just got a note, his mom, Mary, runs the scorebook for Roseburg's varsity, and she is down there on the floor. I asked her if she had got any news, and she said they think he might have dislocated his kneecap on the other knee, much like he did to his left knee. They think he might have done it to his right knee as well. So wish the best there for Jonathan, but that might spell the end of his season, unfortunately. Took him a little while to come back from the first one. If he did it again, that could be tough for him to bounce back from with just a few weeks left to go in the season. All right, we'll go ahead and take a quick break. We'll come back and look at individual scoring from the first half of tonight's ball game. At the halftime break, it's 25-22. Grants Pass in front of Roseburg. This is the More Well Drilling halftime show. Give them a call at 541-459-4039. Back with more after this 2-minute break on 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
This is the Morwell Drilling Halftime Show. Joey Keyran along with you. Brenton Cranford back in the studio on the radio production, here on the video production on site. Josh Nelson, thanks to everybody for helping make tonight's broadcast possible. Tonight's game also been brought to you by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone's welcome to shop. At the halftime break, it's a 3-point game, 25-22. Grants Pass in front of Roseburg. Taking a look at individual scoring from the first half for the visiting team, the Roseburg Indians leading the way with 13 points. Colin Warmouth, he is 3 of 6 from behind the arc to help Roseburg out. They have not shot any free throws in this game so far. 4 points for Caden Seeley, 3 for Jet Black, and 2 for Carson Ellis, your other scorers for Roseburg. For Grants Pass, 8 points. Actually leading the way, Randy Clark with 11, all of those in the first quarter. 8 points for Taylor Anderson, 4 points for Corbin Lopez, 2 points for Skylar Rich, and that is all your scoring in the first half for the Grants Pass Cavemen. Taking a look at some unofficial rebounding numbers for Roseburg. Looks like Jet Black and Colin Warmouth with 3 rebounds apiece. And looks like you've got 4 players with 2 rebounds at the moment in the first half for Grants Pass. Turnovers in the first half, Roseburg with 4, only 1 for the Cavemen. As we look at your first half statistics there, Roseburg will take the court once again as they get ready for the second half. Grants Pass will be back out on the floor here shortly. Well, that'll do it for the Morwell Drilling halftime show. As we do get you a quick score update from the Roseburg girls game up in Roseburg. The Roseburg girls trailing Grants Pass at halftime 36-13. The JV scores from today's matchups. The Roseburg JV team wins, boys win 37-36 to move to 10-5 on the year prior to our game here tonight. And the JV girls game, Grants Pass won 42-30. We'll come back after a 60-second break with the second half action for you. This has been the Morwell Drilling Halftime Show, keeping Douglas County green since 1947. Give them a call at 541-459-4039. Back after this 60-second break on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
We'll start the second half, 25-22. Grants Pass in front by 3. And the Cavemen will start with the basketball. Roseburg basketball for you tonight here on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score, brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County. Grants Pass moving left to right on your radio dial, wearing the home whites here tonight. Roseburg in the road black, now moving right to left in the second half. Out at the top with it, Taylor Anderson driving right side. The crossover, nearly lost his defender, can't get free. Underneath, they make the pass, and the ball tipped out of bounds. It will stay with Grants Pass. Underneath, macing his first shot of the second half, Chase Coyle got it underneath the defense, making the recovery to get to him. Grants Pass will inbound from their baseline. Randy Clark will get it. You've got Clark Lopez, who's in the middle of the lane, passes it back out. Taylor Anderson, Skylar Rich, and Chase Coyle. Your starting five for Grants Pass. Caden Seeley, D'Angelo Adams, Jet Black, Carson Ellis, and Colin Warmouth. Your starting five for Roseburg in the second half. Colin Warmouth, I don't believe, sat a single moment of that first half of basketball. Skylar Rich driving to the free throw line, pass it away. Into the corner, Randy Clark with it, working against Seeley. Trying to find the cutter. It's not there. Lopez will come out and get it as they reset. He dribbles to the baseline, or to the free throw line. Spin move. Got free from the defender, but his shot is off the mark, and Roseburg will have a chance to try and tie on a three. Ball tipped away. Adams will keep it. He gets it out to Warmouth out at the top. Drives in, throws it at the rim. He wanted a push, doesn't get it, and it falls off the front of the iron. Up the floor. Clark spin into Seeley, no whistle, and Clark will just knock over Caden Seeley, and he drains a 6-footer for the first basket of the second half. Randy Clark now 13 points in the game. He's missed just twice. Those unfortunately coming after he started 5 for 5. On the other side, Caden Seeley hits a three. It's down to a 2-point game for Roseburg, 27-25. Driving left side, Anderson shot off the mark. Rebound tipped out. Caden Seeley will have it. It's 1-on-2. He backs his way in. High off the glass, his shot off the mark, and unable to get the game tied up. Caden Seeley misses. Seeley, after hitting that three, can't tie the game up. 27-25, driving baseline, got around the defender. Beating D'Angelo Adams, Taylor Anderson will make it a 4-point game once again. Roseburg got it down to 27-25 here early on, but could not cut down the deficit any further. Hand off to Warmouth, going baseline. His jumper from the baseline hits it. Colin gets his first points of the second half. Back to a 2-point game. Out at the top with it. Coyle to the near side. They work it to Rich. Out to Clark, who comes to get it at the top. Now to the far side, Lopez. Nobody cutting for him, so he'll just take it into the lane himself. Goes airborne, passes it out to the top. Rich passes it away to the right wing to Clark, and they'll reset for the Cavemen. They've been very patient with their offense, taking a lot of time off the clock. Driving in, passing it back out. Rich, the defense was able to recover against him. He got around Jet Black, but Jet got back to him and forced him to pass it away instead of giving up an easy lay-in. Clark has it on the right side. This Caveman our offense has been very patient. 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Out to the top. Catch, no shoot by Anderson. Drives in once, gets it to Lopez. Jump stop. He has to shoot up wildly. Tipped out of bounds. It stays with Grants Pass. Lopez got in the middle, but didn't have his balance. He jump stopped and then was falling away on that shot. Couldn't get it to go. Inbound from the baseline for Anderson, into the corner to Coyle, back out to the top. Anderson will come to get it. He drives to the free throw line, steps around Seeley, throws up a wild shot. Adams tips the rebound, and Roseburg will collect it. Caden Seeley was the one that brought it in after it tipped through a couple of Roseburg hands. Across the timeline to Warmouth on the near side. Again, Roseburg moving right to left now on your radio dial for those listening on the score. At the top, tried to get around a screen. He had a man all over him. Colin wanted to try and get the foul call. His shot off the mark, then he had the ball stripped out of his hands after the rebound got tipped out to him. Colin had a guy all over him, and that's why he launched up a bit of a wild shot from the top of the arc. He was trying to draw a foul to send him to the line, and he couldn't get it. The rebound got tipped out to him, and he had another chance, but then had his pocket picked. They called that foul against Jet Black, his second. First team foul of the second half for Roseburg. 4:11 to go in the third quarter. It's a 2-point game, 29-27. Rich on the right side to Clark in the corner. Points once, but nobody's there. They'll go back to the top. Anderson tried to drive against Adams. He gets back out. He'll pull up for a three. Front iron, no good. Seeley down with the rebound. Seeley will bring it up the floor for Roseburg. Into the half court. On the left side, Ellis will come to get it between the circles. Marked by Coyle. Going to drive left side. Offensive foul. Ellis tried to go with a jump stop, Euro step between the defense, and he bowls over the Grants Pass defender. For Ellis, I think that picks up his first. Substitution in. Randy Clark will take a seat. Anthony Maravilla will check in for the Cavemen. Not a lot of scoring so far here in the second half. 5 points for Roseburg, 4 for Grants Pass. 3:35 to play in the third quarter. Hand off to Maravilla, tries to drive in, back out to Anderson in the lane. He cradles the basketball. They call a foul. And they call that one on D'Angelo Adams. Pushing foul on him first. Third team foul for Roseburg in the second half. No fouls against Grants Pass. Rich will take a seat. Skylar Rich sits down. He's got 2 points in the ball game. Into the game comes Morgan Law, a sophomore guard. Pass out to the top. Oh, and contact. Merhowy Lake had his back to the inbound. Didn't realize the ball had kind of gotten lofted up in the air. It might have gotten tipped on the baseline. And Merhowy saw Anderson kind of reacting to it, and he tried to go for it, but he ended up making contact. 5-second call on the baseline. Maravilla gets caught with it in his hands, and Roseburg will get it back. Roseburg will have it with 3:28 to go in the third quarter. Some full court pressure being applied. They try to trap Warmoth in the backcourt. He'll pick up his dribble, gets it up to Ellis. Ball tipped away on the ground. Fight for it. Jump ball called. Possession arrow goes to Roseburg. Pass was a little off the mark by Warmoth, trying to get it to Ellis. He got his hand on it, but wasn't into the body, so he knocked it down, and it was Chase Coyle able to jump in there and try to steal it away, and that ensued the fight for the basketball on the ground. The possession arrow will flip to Grants Pass after the inbound here by Roseburg. There it is. Warmoth has it out at the top. Roseburg down by 2. They can tie or take the lead on this possession, but that has been the case for a few minutes here. Down to 3:10 to play in the third quarter. Seeley out on the right side. They work it quickly into Ellis. He's got a turnaround jump hook shot is off the mark, too strong. Up the floor will come Grants Pass with the defensive rebound, allowing just the one attempt by Roseburg. Not a lot of second chance points for the Indians so far. Out to the top, Maravilla works it to Anderson on the right side. He'll drive against Lake, cradles it, gets into the lane. Bank shot's good for Anderson. 4 points here in the quarter. He's up to 12 in the ball game. 31-27, 4-point margin. It's been as many as 9 back in the first quarter. But since then, it has been about a 6-point game most of the way. Seeley has it on the left side for Roseburg. Out to Ellis at the top. Thought about a 3. He'll bounce it, tried to split the defenders, and it's stolen away by Grants Pass out in front. Lopez is laying no good. The offensive board and put back for Anderson. And a quick run here for Grants Pass has them out to a 6-point lead. Roseburg had it a 2-point game. Grants Pass, 4-0 run here. Jet to the free throw line to Ellis. A couple of fakes on the handoff, passes left side. Jet in the corner has a look at a 3. Rainbow shot goes right through the net. Cuts right through. Roseburg back within 3, 33-30, 1:52 to go. Indians doing everything they can to avoid giving up a big lead again to Grants Pass. Driving in, Lopez passes back out to Anderson. Taylor will back it out, working against Lake. Drives left side. He'll draw contact. Goes to the floor, and he'll probably be heading to the free throw line. Roseburg has not shot a free throw tonight. There's only been 4 on the other side for Grants Pass. They're going to get some here. 15 foul against Roseburg here in the third quarter. None still for Grants Pass. First shot for Anderson is good. Roseburg basketball tonight brought to you by Bimart. Don't forget, you can score big at Bimart, where you can get ready for your season for less. Xavier Avilés into the game for Caden Seeley. Carson Ellis checks out. D'Angelo Adams did come in for him. Both free throws go through. For Taylor Anderson, 35-30 your score. Warmoth with it in the backcourt. They apply some half-court pressure, or full-court pressure, excuse me. Warmouth driving right side, getting bumped all over, still no call. He gets his own rebound and puts it up, and now they'll call a foul. So the miss on the first try, his offensive rebound and a putback in for Warmouth is good, and he'll go to the line for the three-point play. But, man, Colin has been getting a lot of contact, not a lot of whistles. And finally, Roseburg will get a free throw here tonight. First foul against Ethan Lackey tonight. He draws that one there against Colin. Colin heads to the free throw line, and he'll hit. It's back to a two-point game, 35-33. Roseburg hanging in here. Third quarter action, 1:19 to play. Clark driving left side, working against Mahowie Lake. Back out to the top. With it is Law. And Law throws it away. He was looking for the baseline cutter, and there was nobody there. So Morgan Law, the sophomore, gives it back to Roseburg, and once again the Indians a chance to try and take their first lead of the game on a made three. They could tie it up on a made bucket. Game hasn't been tied since it was 0-0. Fake the handoff for Lake, drives left side, tried to pass it away as he picked up his dribble, and it's stolen away by Anderson. Another turnover by Roseburg. Anderson up the floor quickly to the left side, laying for Morgan Law. And Roseburg gets it down to a two-point game, and Grants Pass comes back out and stretches it out to 4. 37-33 your score, 51.9 seconds to go in the third quarter. Timeout down to the floor. We'll take it as well. 30-second break back after this here on The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on three factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Hey, folks, remember, coming up in the postgame show, stay tuned for our Abby's Legendary Pizza Legendary Player of the Game for the Roseburg boys. They trail 37-33 out of the timeout by Grants Pass. Ball in the backcourt. Roseburg will get it across the timeline. Xavier Avilés will handle the ball. Loses a handle on it. Fight for it. He is able to get it back. Out to the top to Colin Warmouth. 37-33, 38 seconds to go, third quarter. Warmouth will get it away to Jet on the near side. Adams goes underneath to Colin, and a foul is going to be called. It'll go against Lackey again. Battling with Colin for possession there. Lackey had his hands all over Colin. The entry pass initially denied by Lackey. D'Angelo trying to find the backdoor cutter by Colin. Lackey will take a seat. Morgan Law comes out as well. Inbound into Avilés. Skylar Rich back into the game. So is Braden Bellum. A two from Colin Warmouth is short. Rebound comes down to Grants Pass. Everybody out in front. And it is Randy Clark with the lay-in. Big night tonight for Randy Clark. 39-33. 6-point game again for Grants Pass. Avilés has it. 7 seconds to go. At the free throw line, out to Jet, a three before the buzzer. It's back iron, no good. Avilés down with the rebound, no putback attempt. And after 3 quarters of play, it's 39-33. Grants Pass in front of Roseburg by 6. Back with the fourth quarter after this on The Score.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage. Stay tuned for more Roseburg basketball on 541radio.com.
fourth quarter for you here from Grants Pass High School, Heater Newman Memorial Gymnasium. The Cavemen lead 39-33 as we start the final period of action. Grants Pass looking to try and move to 500 in conference play. Roseburg trying to avoid falling to 500. Driving baseline, Randy Clark gets to the rim. A shot was off the mark, too strong. Caden Seeley comes down with the rebound. Up the floor, into the corner for Adams. Back out to Seeley. And out to the top to Merhowie Lake. Colin Warmoth has played every minute of this ball game so far. Leads Roseburg with 18 points. Into the corner. Lake thought about a three. They'll get to Seeley underneath, and Caden Seeley gets free. Caden Seeley having a nice second half. He's got 5 in the second half, and he's got Roseburg back within 4, 39-35. Roseburg was at a two-point margin much of that third quarter. Driving in, Corbin Lopez passes it into the corner. A three off the mark by Braden Bellum, his first shot of the night from behind the arc, and the big man comes up empty. 6:59 to go. Roseburg a chance to get back within a one-possession game. Colin Warmoth had a guy all draped all over him. He's able to protect the basketball. Underneath, Seeley in the middle of the lane. Gets it back from Adams out on the left wing. Back to Adams in the corner. D'Angelo will dribble it out. Fakes the handoff. Passes it to Lake. Back to Warmoth on the right side of the floor. Colin dribbling against Lopez. Gets around a screen. A three. It's off the back iron. No good. Fight for the rebound. And Adams saves it back in. Colin now an open look at a three. He gets the second attempt. And Roseburg is within 1, and a timeout by the Indians. 39-38. A couple of looks for Colin Warmoth. Great job on the boards by D'Angelo Adams to give the Indians a second look. And they're back within 1 with 6:22 to go in the ball game. Come back after a quick 30-second break. This is Roseburg basketball, streaming at 541radio.com and on 1490 The Score. Roseburg hanging around here against Grants Pass with 6:21 to go in the fourth quarter. It's a one-point game, 39-38. Grants Pass with the basketball out of the Roseburg timeout. Out to the top, Braden Bellum with it to the left side of the floor for the Cavemen. You've got Bellum, Marvila, Clark, Lopez, and Rich out on the floor. No Taylor Anderson, who's had a nice second half. 8 points in the third quarter alone to get to 16 in the game for him. He is the second leading scorer in the Southwest Conference, just behind Colin Warmoth, the only other guy in front of him. Out at the top, Maravilla to Clark on the near side. Grants Pass running through that very patient offense. Lopez gets it on the baseline, going to drive. Tried to make the extra pass. It was tipped right back to him. In and out of the hands of Skylar Rich, back to Lopez, and now Rich will get it at the top. Anderson and Ellis will check in for both sides as the pass lost out of bounds by Rich. Defensive pressure by Seeley forces the turnover. Ellis comes in for Avilés, and Anderson still on the sideline. Now they'll substitute him in for Randy Clark, who will take a seat. Roseburg's got Jet Black, Colin Warmoth, Caden Seeley, D'Angelo Adams, and Carson Ellis on the floor. Colin will get into the backcourt working against Maravilla. Brings it across the timeline. Goes right side around a screen from Ellis. He'll pull up for the three for the lead. He's got it! And Roseburg takes their first lead of the game with 5:19 to go in the ball game. 41-39. Roseburg in front by 2. Their largest lead of the game and their only lead of the game. Left side, Anderson tries to answer his three off the back iron. Ellis comes down with the rebound. And Roseburg can slow it down a little bit here. 5 minutes to go. They tried to feed it to Seeley, cutting through the lane, and it's stripped away. And that was probably an ill-advised pass on one side. Out at the top, Maravilla gets it to Rich. Head fake, got the defender out of position. He drives but passes it away. Anderson with it on the right side. Roseburg leading 41-39, first lead of the game. To the far side, into the corner. Lopez looking, nobody cutting. He'll pass it out to the top, and Grants Pass will reset the offense. Bellum, a head fake against Ellis, and they're going to call the foul on the floor. No basket. Ellis going to get called for, I believe, his second. And it'll be the 16th foul against Roseburg. Non-shooting foul. Braden Bellum, a big guy working against Carson Ellison. He had that jab step with the foot, and he able to get the edge, get right to the basket. A 2 will tie it. A 3 will give Grants Pass the lead back. Roseburg in front for the first time tonight. On the left elbow, Bellum, head fake, and they leave Lopez open, cutting through the lane, and he misses the shot and a foul on the rebound. Caden Seeley went up for the rebound, and a foul is called against Skylar Rich. That'll be his second. Coming into the game, Chase Coyle will check in for Braden Bellum. Roseburg looking to substitute as well. Merhowie Lake will come into the game for Roseburg. And he'll come in for D'Angelo Adams. Inbound at the baseline, full court to go. Warmoth getting some pressure. The defender went down. It's out to Jet Black. A 3! He gets it to roll through. Third 3 of the game for Jet Black, and Roseburg's out to its largest lead at 5 now. Taking the first lead of the game in the fourth quarter, and they've had back-to-back threes from Warmoth and Jet Black to take a 5-point lead. Driving baseline, Maravilla over the top of the defense, gets it to Lopez. Out to the top, Rich, a 3. He buries it. His first 3 of the game. Stops a run by Roseburg. They go with the baseball pass up the floor. Jet, he's too strong with the left hand. And the rebound down to Grants Pass. 44-42 your score, 3:28 to go. Spin move in the middle, off by Anderson. Ellis, and they call a jump ball as it's Coyle that gets his hands in there. Roseburg will get the ball back. Randy Clark will come in for Maravilla. Roseburg will have the basketball, four-court pressure from Grants Pass. Jet will get it. 44-42 your score, 3:18 to go. Roseburg taking the lead for the first time here in the fourth quarter. Looking for a big road win in the Southwest Conference. Colin Warmoth trying to cut through the floor. Had a defender all over him. Goes to the floor, went to one knee, dived for the basketball on the floor. The ball on the sideline. I can't see the official on the near side. It's going to be a Roseburg basketball. Colin had a guy draped all over him, lost his balance, went to a knee, almost lost the basketball, tried to keep the dribble, and it got poked away, fighting for it on the near sideline. It was Carson Ellis and I believe Skylar Rich, and it was last touched by Rich, out of bounds on the near sideline. Roseburg will inbound. It goes to Warmoth in the backcourt. 3 minutes exactly to play in this one. Roseburg in front by 2. Ball stolen away by Coyle. Stole it away from Ellis, and now on the other side, it's stripped in and out of the hands of Skylar Rich, and Roseburg will get it back. Both these teams having some issues with the basketball from time to time in this one. They've cost themselves some costly turnovers. Looking to trap in the backcourt. Grants Pass had a double team on Colin, and now Lake will bring it across the floor. They go to the middle to Ellis. Between the circles, between the Lake dribble, right side to Lake. He looked underneath, no one there. Out to Colin at the top. Roseburg's got to be patient. As a bump out of top, Clark right on top, bumping Colin, no foul. Around a screen, Colin now will get the blocking foul, this time against Lopez. Officials letting him play out there. Only the third foul against Grants, make it the fourth foul against Grants Pass. 6 against Roseburg, neither team in the bonus just yet. Neither team got to the bonus in the first half. Colin with it on the right side. Long pass across the floor to Lake in the corner. Ellis comes to get it through the middle of the lane. Trying to work into the middle. Gets pushed. He rolls it over the front of the iron. Tough shot to hit with a guy putting arms right into his chest. 4-point game again for Roseburg. 46-42. Rich going to try a 3. It is nothing but nylon for Skylar Rich. 2 threes here in the fourth quarter. A 1-point game, 46-45. 1:56 to play in this. Into the corner for Seeley. He's going to try and drive baseline. Into the corner, Lake, a wide open 3. It's no good. Rebound comes down to Rich. Grants Pass looking to take the lead back. Anderson just a long 2. It's back iron, clanks, no good. Coyle down with the rebound, and they'll get another look. Lopez back out to Anderson. Offensive board, a second chance point opportunity here for Grants Pass. Down to a minute 27 to go. Anderson with it on the far side. He drives in the lane, jump stop, got the head fake, no good. Rebound down to Coyle and a foul. I think Roseburg's bench got a little vocal over there, hoping for a travel call on Anderson, who jump stopped and maybe might have slid a little bit once his feet were supposed to be planted. His miss, though, goes to Coyle, and his putback attempt drew the foul there, and he'll hit the first to tie the ball game up. Roseburg basketball brought to you by Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? And by Pepsi and Bigfoot Beverages. Coyle will make them both. Grant's pass back in front. 47-46. Warmouth with it out at the top. Gets around a screen from Ellis. Double team. Now he'll pass it away. Jet with it out at the top. Nearing the 1 minute mark. 1 minute to play. And a whistle. It's going to be called against Chase Coyle. Carson Ellis trying to dribble against him. 1 minute on the clock exactly. And it's a 1 point game. Grant's pass in front. Jet will inbound. And he throws it away. Coyle just he just stepped in front of it. And a timeout down on the floor by Grant's pass. Jet was looking for something else. It didn't materialize on the floor. And Roseburg gives it to Grant's pass, who will have it with 54.8 seconds to go in the ball game. Let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Roseburg basketball on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score. .8 seconds to go in the ball game. Roseburg going to be on defense when they come back out. Joey Keyran here with you from Heater Newman Memorial Gymnasium. Roseburg and Grants Pass squaring off in Southwest Conference action. Tonight's game been brought to you by Flyaway Travel. Contact their travel experts for your travel plans. Give them a call at 672-5701. And by Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. Roseburg basketball is also brought to you by Good Vibration, solutions for home theater and automotive audio. You can feel it at Good Vibes. Well, you got to think a 1 point game right now. Obviously, Roseburg looking for a stop. Grant's pass has been very patient on offense. They can do that now. But Roseburg will also probably be looking to avoid giving up a three. And a foul is going to be called on D'Angelo Adams. Taylor Anderson trying to get clear of D'Angelo. And that will send Grant's pass to the free throw line. Anderson, he is a perfect 4 for 4 from the stripe. It'll be a 1-and-1 opportunity for him. A miss. Roseburg's got a chance to take a lead on a made bucket. A make or two. And Roseburg would need a bucket to tie or take the lead. First one goes through for Anderson. Stretches it to a 2 point game. Roseburg basketball also brought to you by Mahalo Heating and Cooling, your best choice for the finest indoor comfort control. Call them at 672-6707. Both of them go through for Anderson. It's a 3 point game. 52 seconds to play. Roseburg might try to get the quick two as the ball poked away by Anderson and Lake loses it. Coyle comes up with it and he'll get fouled. Anderson got his hands in and knocks it away from Howie Lake. So Taylor Anderson. Anderson will walk. Oh, no, excuse me. They'll send Coyle to the line. First one rattles around and out. Boy, that one looked like it might bounce right back out with the momentum he had on it. Second one coming. It's a 4 point game. And he'll rattle them both through. Coyle still perfect at the line. 51-46, pressure in the backcourt. Collin nearly lost it. He's got to get it across the timeline. He will, just in time. Working to his left side. He'll pull up for a long two off the mark. Clark down with the rebound. And Roseburg will foul in the backcourt. Jet will get called for the foul. And on the bench, Roseburg's coach is not happy with the no call. And Collin also out there arguing the case, wanting to say he had a defender wrapped all around him. They're looking for a foul call. They don't know who to give it to. I gave it to Jet, I guess. Officials are talking about who's going to get the foul call here. While we have a moment, let you know tonight's game brought to you by Good Vibration Solutions for home theater and automotive audio. You can feel it at Good Vibes. It's a 1-and-1 opportunity. Grants Pass is in the bonus. Actually, they make it a two-shot foul because they're in the double bonus now. First one goes through. It's Anderson at the line. He hits the first timeout down on the floor. We'll go ahead and take a quick one as well. 30-second break. It's out to a 6-point game. Grants Pass in front on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Well, down here in Grants Pass tonight, Roseburg was looking at a comeback attempt. Took their first lead of the ball game with 5:19 to play in the fourth quarter on a three-pointer by Colin Warmoth. But unfortunately, since then, Grants Pass has been able to pull out in front now by 6. The second free throw doesn't go for Anderson. 52-46. Ellis a three. Looks long. It is. 13 seconds to go. And this one's going to wrap up. Roseburg not fouling. There's the ball saved back in. Grants Pass going to go to 2-2 in conference. Roseburg going to fall to 2-2 as the Cavemen will protect their home court and win 52-46. Tough one tonight for the Roseburg boys. We'll wrap it up in the Roseburg Disposal postgame show after this 2-minute break on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
Sports fans, thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage. Stay tuned for more basketball at 541radio.com.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Welcome to the Roseburg Disposal postgame show. Let them make the run to the hump for you. That's Roseburg Disposal. Call them at 673-7122. Here in the postgame show, we're going to run through this one, let you know how things played out here tonight, and take a look at some of the individual scoring from tonight's game as Roseburg falls on the road against the Grants Pass Cavemen. 52-46 your final score. It was a tight one to the finish. Roseburg taking a lead with 5:19 to go in the ball game. They could not hang on. It was a 1-point game with 1:19 to play. And Roseburg turned it over on an inbound pass with 60 seconds left, and then Grants Pass pulls away at the free throw line. Final score again at 52-46. Joey Keyran here with you. This Roseburg basketball game been brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union. Well, it was 18-13 at the end of the first quarter. Grants Pass led by as many as 9 in that first quarter, but Roseburg fought their way back. Got it down to one possession game in the second quarter, but at the halftime break, it was a 25-22 score. In the third quarter, Roseburg couldn't close the gap. They fall behind 39-33, but in the fourth quarter, they're able to go on a run, and a three-pointer by Colin Warmouth makes it a 41-39 score, as Roseburg starts the fourth quarter on an 8-0 run, and they are able to get in the lead for the first time in the ballgame, but they could not hold on as Grants Pass would go on to score, and they would go on a 13-5 run to finish out the game and hold on for the victory against Roseburg. Grants Pass goes to 6-12 on the year, 2-2 in conference play. Roseburg 12-6 on the year and 2-2 in the Southwest Conference. We'll come back and look at individual scoring from tonight's ball game, so stay tuned for that coming up here in just a few moments. This is the Roseburg Disposal postgame show. Back after this on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Wrapping things up here with the Roseburg Disposal postgame show from Heater Newman Memorial Gymnasium. Roseburg falls tonight on the road. Back-to-back road losses for Roseburg. They'll look to try and avoid a 3-game losing streak. That would be the first of the season as they head home to take on North Medford coming up Friday night. Joey Keyran here with you. Roseburg Disposal, give them a call at 673-7122. Let them make the run to the dump for you. Well, it's time now to take a look at some of our individual scoring from tonight's game. Let's start out with the Roseburg boys. The visiting team here tonight. Leading the way with a game-high 24 points, Colin Warmouth. He scores 11 in the second half, 13 in the first, but it's not enough to get Roseburg the victory here tonight. 9 points for Caden Seeley and for Jet Black, and 4 points for Carson Ellis. Bit of a sad note, tough note to take here tonight. Jonathan Stone goes down with another apparent knee injury. The fear is that he has dislocated his other kneecap. He partially dislocated a kneecap earlier on in the season, missed 6 games, made his first return back to the floor on Friday night down at South Medford last week. His second game back, goes down with another knee injury, and it looks like that might put him on the shelf for the rest of the season. That is just speculation there, but we will find out more, of course, as time goes on. So tough one there for Jonathan Stone. Rebounding numbers for Roseburg tonight: 7 for Caden Seeley, 6 for Colin Warmouth, 4 for Jet Black, 4 for Carson Ellis, 3 for Xavier Avalez, and 3 for D'Angelo Adams, and Merhowie Lake picking up 1 as well. Roseburg finishing with 12 turnovers in this one, unofficially. On the other side, for Grants Pass, 19 points for Taylor Anderson, leading 2 players in double figures. Also Randy Clark with 15. Scored 11 in the first quarter, 4 in the third. He likes those odd numbers there as he gets to 15 points tonight. 8 points for Skylar Rich. And you had 4 points for Corbin Lopez, 2 for Morgan Law, 4 points for Chase Coyle, and that'll round out the scoring for the Cavemen. Let's see here. Unofficially 5 rebounds for Skylar Rich, 3 for Corbin Lopez, 3 for Taylor Anderson, 2 for Chase Coyle, 3 for Randy Clark, 2 rebounds for Ethan Lackey, and 1 for Braden Bellum. Only 3 turnovers unofficially for Grants Pass in tonight's ball game. Final score again, 52-46. It was a tight one down to the finish, and Grants Pass pulls away at the free throw line to pull out the victory. So a tough one here tonight. Roseburg will look to try and rebound again when they head back home against North Medford on Friday. We'll take a break, come back with your Abby's Legendary Pizza Legendary Player of the Game, and wrapping things up here on the Roseburg Disposal postgame show. Back after this final 2-minute break here on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Well, tonight it wasn't in the cards for your Roseburg Indians. They fall 52-46 against Grants Pass. Roseburg now 2-2 in conference play, and they'll be battling in the middle of the pack to try and stay alive for that playoff spot hunt. As, boy, we're going to be getting down to it here real soon. There'll be 6 games left in conference to play, and Roseburg's going to be down to 7 games left to go in the season. So going to be an interesting finish to this season for the Roseburg boys. Grants Pass now at 2-2 in conference as well, as they continue to keep their hopes of a postseason alive in a conference play. Well, we gave you the individual stats. It's time now to name our Abby's Legendary Pizza Legendary Player of the Game, and more often than not, he's probably in the running for this award. Colin Warmoth going to win the award here tonight. 24 points for him, helping try and guide Roseburg to a victory. Finished with 6 rebounds here tonight. Runner-up tonight was Caden Seeley for the award, but we'll give it to Colin Warmoth. He hit the three-pointer that gave Roseburg its first, and, well, they held the lead for a little bit, but they did not really they weren't able to hang on to it the entire time. They were on top 41-39 after a made three-pointer. With 5:19 to go in the ball game, Roseburg in front, but they would not hang on to it the rest of the way. So Roseburg falls on the road, 52-46 your final score. Coming up next, they will be back at home against North Medford. 6:45 tip-off coming up Friday night. They're at Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. Of course, our pregame coverage will start at 6:30 online. You can watch the game, or you can tune in and follow the action with us here on 1490 The Score. As we wrap things up, we'll take a look at a couple of scores here, try and get through this here quickly. From Douglas County, Bandon beats Reedsport in boys basketball 67-42. In the Southwest Conference tonight, the JV score, Roseburg was able to hold on for a win against Grants Pass 37-36. Again, our varsity score 52-46. The Grants Pass Cavemen beating Roseburg here tonight. On the girls' side this evening, the Oakland girls beat Oak Ridge 48-23. Canyonville Academy loses to Bonanza 45-14. South Umpqua falling to St. Mary's in Medford 56-49. Douglas falls at Brookings 52-48. And in the Southwest Conference tonight, Grants Pass wins against Roseburg there at Stuart W. Robertson as they win 73-29. The Grants Pass girls also beat Roseburg 42-30. And that is a look at your scores here tonight around the Umpqua Basin. Well, as we wrap it up here, folks, want to say thanks to Grants Pass High School for hosting us here tonight for this Southwest Conference matchup. We look forward to welcoming them in to Roseburg High School coming up next later on in the season, the next time these two teams meet. As for Roseburg, their next game back at home against North Medford. We hope to see you out at the gymnasium. Want to say thanks to Britton Cranford back in the studio for his radio production. Thanks to Josh Nelson with help with the video production here tonight. Big thanks, as always, to Russ Boland, the athletic director for Roseburg High School, head coach Mike Pardon of the Roseburg boys basketball team, and the entire Roseburg boys basketball program for allowing us to bring you another season of Roseburg basketball here on 1490 The Score. And we want to say thanks to you, the fan, for tuning in for tonight's broadcast, because, of course, without you, I'm just a guy sitting here talking to myself. I'm Joey Kieran. We will talk to you guys on Friday night when Roseburg hosts North Medford to wrap up the first time through the Southwest Conference schedule. The game tips off at 6:45. Our pregame coverage will start at 6:30. You can catch the action streaming online at 541radio.com or follow us right here on Douglas County's home for sports, CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score. All right, thank you.